We Americans, we love to travel, always have. Open road, new experiences, that's in our blood. Passport, badge of freedom, ticket to ride. Except, sometimes it ain't so simple. That little blue book, symbol of American might, doesn't always open every door. Truth is, plenty of countries, they ain't exactly rolling out the welcome mat for US citizens. Long lines, interrogations, outright rejections. Yeah, that happens. It's a shock. We're used to calling the shots, right? But international travel, it's a two-way street. And right now, for Americans, that street's getting a little bumpy. Here's the deal. Immigration. Touchy subject. It's a topic that stirs up a lot of emotions and opinions. People have strong feelings about who should be allowed in and who should be kept out. It's a balancing act between national security and human compassion. Every country wants to control its borders, protect its citizens. Fair enough, it's a fundamental aspect of sovereignty. But the way each country goes about it can vary widely. Some are more welcoming, while others are more restrictive. But how they treat foreigners often reflects how those foreigners' countries treat their own people. It's a mirror effect. If a country is known for being strict and unwelcoming, it might find itself on the receiving end of similar treatment. It's called reciprocity. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. This principle is deeply embedded in international relations. It's a way of maintaining balance and fairness. If one country makes it difficult for another country's citizens to visit, the other country might respond in kind. Or you slam the door in my face, don't be surprised if I return the favor. Visa policies? Prime example. These policies can be a direct reflection of diplomatic relations. If two countries have a strained relationship, their visa policies might reflect that tension. America's got a tough system. Lots of hoops to jump through, even for tourists. The process can be long and complicated, requiring extensive documentation and interviews. It's not just about security, it's also about control and regulation. Some countries, they remember that. They take note of how their citizens are treated and respond accordingly. It's a form of diplomatic memory. If their citizens face difficulties, they might impose similar challenges on visitors from that country. And when Americans come knocking, let's just say the welcome ain't always warm. The experiences of American travelers can vary greatly depending on the country they are visiting. Some places might roll out the red carpet, while others might put up barriers. Think about it. You're holding a passport that symbolizes a country known for strict immigration. That passport can be a double-edged sword. It grants access to many places, but it can also be a reminder of the challenges others face when trying to visit the US. Would you be surprised if other countries mirrored that approach? It's a global game of give and take. The way countries handle immigration and visa policies is a reflection of their broader diplomatic relationships. So next time you travel, remember, the way you're treated might just be a reflection of how your country treats others. America, land of immigrants, right? True historically, from the early settlers seeking religious freedom to the waves of Europeans escaping war and poverty, the United States has long been a beacon of hope and opportunity. Ellis Island, the gateway for millions, stands as a testament to this legacy. The Statue of Liberty, with her torch held high, welcomed the huddled masses yearning to breathe free. But the story's more complicated. Waves of openness, followed by crackdowns, fear-mongering. The Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, the quotas of the 1920s, and the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II are stark reminders of the darker chapters in this narrative. Each era brought its own challenges and responses, reflecting the nation's evolving identity and fears. Post 9/11, whole new level of scrutiny. The attacks reshaped the landscape of immigration and security. Suddenly, the focus shifted to preventing terrorism, leading to the creation of the Department of Homeland Security and the implementation of the USA Patriot Act. Airports became fortresses, and travelers faced rigorous checks and balances. Visa waivers got axed, walls went up, literally and figuratively. The southern border saw increased militarization, with physical barriers and advanced surveillance technologies. The visa application process became more stringent, with extensive background checks and interviews becoming the norm. Security theater became the norm. Long lines, invasive pat-downs, and the ever-present sense of being watched became part of the travel experience. The balance between security and freedom was constantly being negotiated, often tipping in favor of the former. Message sent: America's getting harder to enter. Policies like the travel ban targeted specific countries, sending a clear signal about who was welcome and who was not. The rhetoric of America First resonated with some while alienating others. Now every administration tweaks the system. From Reagan's amnesty to Obama's DACA, each president has left their mark on immigration policy. Some sought to provide pathways to citizenship, while others focused on enforcement and deportation. Some loosen the screws, others tighten them. The pendulum swings with each election, reflecting the nation's divided stance on immigration. Protests and rallies become common, as people voice their support or opposition to the latest changes. Point is, the world's watching. International communities closely monitor U.S. policies, as they often set the tone for global immigration trends. News outlets around the world report on the latest developments, influencing public opinion and policy in other nations. And they adjust their own policies accordingly. Countries adapt, either tightening their own borders in response or opening up to those turned away by the U.S. The ripple effect of American immigration policy is felt worldwide. It's a constant dance, this immigration game. Nations move in tandem, reacting to each other's policies and public sentiments. The flow of people across borders is a dynamic and ever-changing process. One country leads, others follow. The U.S. often sets the precedent, but other nations are quick to adapt and respond. Immigration is a global issue, and no country operates in isolation. And right now, America's calling a tune that's leaving a lot of travelers out of step. The current policies have created confusion and frustration, with many left in limbo. The world watches and waits as the dance of immigration continues. So where are Americans hitting those travel speed bumps? All over actually. Some places it's bureaucratic nightmares, others flat-out denials. Here's the thing. It ain't always about politics. Could be economics, cultural clashes, even plain old inefficiency. But one thing's for sure, that U.S. passport ain't the golden ticket it used to be. Let's get specific, shall we? Brazil. Land of samba, sunshine, and soul-crushing visa applications? Sadly, yes. See, back in 2001, America imposed fingerprinting and photographing requirements on Brazilian visitors. Brazil, they didn't take kindly to that. Their response? Tit for tat, baby. Now, Americans need a visa to even set foot in Rio. The process? A labyrinth of paperwork, fees, and waiting. You'll need proof of accommodation, onward travel, financial solvency, the whole shebang. And don't even get me started on the in-person interview. It's enough to make you want to drown your sorrows in caipirinhas, which, trust me, you'll need. Want to explore the Hermitage, wander Red Square, and maybe even have a shot of vodka with a babushka? Good luck, comrade. Getting into Russia as an American is like navigating a Siberian winter. Long, arduous, and potentially perilous. The visa process itself is notoriously convoluted. We're talking stacks of forms, invitation letters, which, good luck getting, and proof of health insurance that'll make your head spin. But here's the kicker. Even if you manage to jump through all the hoops, there's still no guarantee you'll get in. Russian authorities have a reputation for being, let's say, selective about who they let through. The Hermitage Museum, one of the largest and oldest museums in the world, is a treasure trove of art and culture. Red Square, with its iconic landmarks like St. Basil's Cathedral and the Kremlin, is a must-see for any traveler. But before you can marvel at these wonders, you have to navigate the labyrinthine Russian visa process. It's not just about filling out a few forms, it's about understanding a different bureaucratic language altogether. The forms are detailed and numerous, requiring information that might seem excessive to the uninitiated. And then, there are the invitation letters. These are not just casual invites, they need to be official and often come from a registered Russian organization or a hotel. Securing one can be a challenge in itself. Once you have your invitation, you need to prove you have health insurance that covers you in Russia. This isn't just a checkbox, it's a detailed requirement that can trip up even the most seasoned travelers. And let's not forget the visa fees, which can add up quickly. After all this, you might think you're home free, but not so fast. Russian border control is known for its rigorous checks. They scrutinize every detail, and any discrepancy can lead to denial of entry. It's a process that requires patience, precision, and a bit of luck. So, if you're planning a trip to Russia, prepare yourself for an adventure before the adventure. The journey through the visa process is a story in itself, one that many travelers have found to be as memorable as the trip itself. China, the Middle Kingdom, ancient history, booming economy, and a visa regime that's tougher than a bowl of cold noodles. For Americans, getting into China can feel like trying to scale the Great Wall itself. Tourist visas? Sure, they exist. but they're notoriously difficult to obtain, especially for first-time visitors. You'll need a detailed itinerary, proof of booked flights and accommodation, and enough financial documentation to choke a dragon. And don't even think about working there without jumping through even more hoops. China's got its own system, and they ain't afraid to use it. So, what's the takeaway here? It's more than just a pain in the ass for travelers. This visa tit for tat, it's a symptom of something bigger. A breakdown in global communication, a lack of trust. Think about it. When countries make it hard for each other's citizens to visit, what message does that send? It breeds suspicion, isolation, hampers cultural exchange, hurts business. We're all interconnected whether we like it or not. What happens in one corner of the world affects us all. And when it comes to immigration, a little bit of empathy and understanding goes a long way. Listen, I'm not saying don't travel. Get out there, see the world. Just be prepared. Do your research, understand the rules. And most importantly, pack your patience. The world's a complex place, different cultures, different values. We gotta navigate that with respect and sensitivity. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, if we start treating each other a little better at home, those doors abroad will start swinging open a little easier. Until then, happy travels, my friends. And remember, sometimes the journey's more about the bumps in the road than the destination itself.